In today's episode, I take a look at setups on Pound Aussie Dollar and Euro CAD. Bruce takes a look at setups on New Zealand Dollar JPY and New Zealand Dollar CAD. Karabu takes a look at the dollar index and Euro USD. And we announce our fourth Trading View Trade of the Week winner. Enjoy. Welcome guys to another weekly episode here with the FX price action team. We've got some great setups for you guys. Just a quick reminder that we are running the Trading View Trade of the Week competition. We are announcing our fourth winner in this episode, and then this week we will find our fifth winner, and then you guys can vote for the best setup, and that setup will ultimately walk away with a TradingView premium sponsored account. So if you are interested, you can just post your setups on either our Facebook page or in our Discord room, and then also post your after photo, of course using TradingView and the hashtag after, so we can find it. But yeah, without any further ado, let's jump into the setups. Alright, looking at Pound Aussie Dollar, we're on the weekly chart here, and what we can note here is after this market had this big impulsive move, we now have quite a complex correction forming over here. Now once this correction is finished, I believe we're going to go lower and eventually perhaps get to these lows down here. But ultimately this price action is still a bit bullish, and I believe we still have a little bit of a move higher before we're going to come down. And we're just going to jump down to the smaller time frames. Now jumping down to the daily time frame, we see we had this impulsive move, we had the consolidation, and we had another impulsive move, and then this consolidation. However, this market is busy forming a bit of a reversal up here, and the most likely scenario for me is a bit of an expanding flat to take this liquidity and fill this void down here into this order block here. So hopefully once we get to these lows here, we'll find a move higher. Alternatively, if we don't get the move down and we end up going higher, once we get to this 8-hour order block that I'll show you guys in a second, then I'll look for the shorts. But the most likely scenario for me is this move to the downside before going higher. Now this 8-hour order block that I marked off, you have to scroll back a bit, if I just scroll back, is this little resistance point, this last move up before the market came crashing down. Hopefully we can still get up there before we find the reversal, but for now I'm going to be concentrating on finding the short down to this level over here. Alright, moving down to the 1 hour time frame, here we had the little move up and then this big consolidation, which ended up being a little bit of a head and shoulders, this flag pattern before it broke out. Now hopefully next week we will find a corrective price action to this level, and once we get here, I'll look to get short this market. Now we also have to just watch the price action. If perhaps we go below this low and we start consolidating and have an impulsive move up, then perhaps it's best to stay away, because then we're most likely to make new highs. But again, the scenario that I'm looking for now is hopefully some corrective price action back into this little flip zone area, and then we can find the short to that liquidity point. So quite a nice big trade, and one we'll be watching out for in the trading room. Alright, and then finally just a little trade here on the Euro CAD that I'm going to look out for early next week. We had this, it's quite a big consolidation down here, and I'm not really sure if the price is going down or up ultimately, but what I can see is this market had this impulsive move, the correction, and another impulsive move into this liquidity, and then the big reaction. So it left all these clean lows down here, and I think the market is at least going to get to these lows. So hopefully next week what we're going to be looking for is a move back up to this little order block, which will also be this pivot block and this liquidity point over here. So ideally what we're going to be looking for next week is a little bit, again, corrective price action, what we're looking for to take this liquidity into this order block, and right here hopefully we'll be able to get short, at least for a move down to this liquidity point over here. From there, like I said, I don't know if it's going lower or if this is going to be the move higher, but I do think it's quite a high probability to at least get to these lows and perhaps eventually into this little order block down here. Right, yeah, those are my two trades for the week, and I'll see you all in the trading room.
Good day, guys. Okay, I have NZDJPY, a buy scenario that I have today. So I'll just have to explain how I saw that buy. First of all, this is my trend line that I just spotted. So this is my trend line, which is gonna tell us that if we break going up, we're gonna have a nice confirmation that yes, we are going up. If price can break this going up, we're gonna have a nice confirmation that of course we are going up. But you should know that I'm still using the old rules. If after every breakout, price should at least retest 61.8 of FIBO before it goes up or down. So let me quickly add my Fibonacci. So if you add your Fibonacci from the nearest low to the high, which is this level here, So we'll see that we have 61.8 between 50 and 61.8. Every retracement should at least retrace between 50 and 61.8. Another thing that I see is that price might still do this, might still go down there to trap the sellers before it pushes up, right? And then from there, if price pushes up down to this level here, so we have a great buy opportunity here, right? With confluence with what? With the trend line that we have here. So what I'm looking at a long-term scenario all the way up to this level or even this one here, right? So if price is going all the way up to this level, it won't just run from here all the way up to that level there. So we have a breakout here. So once we got this breakout, we'll expect price to pull back to this level around 61.8, 50 and 61.8 before it pushes all the way up to that level. So for me, if we can quickly jump to NZD. For me, looking at this level here, this will confirm that NZD is going up. So look at this movement going up, this impulse going up, and the consolidation, and then another movement going up there. So looking at this level here, we have a nice breakout here, which gave us an impulse going down, right? If we have A, B, and then C, and then D. Why did I put D there? Because of this level here. So we might look at the second exit here when we sell it going down to this level, right? Okay. Another thing to add is that once price did the impulse going down and then it went up, down, failing to break this low, so it might push inside 61.8 before it pushes all the way down there. Yes, we sell it here, which risk and reward will be very small. You can hide your stop loss there. We sell it here, you hide your stop loss there, and then between somewhere here, it's gonna be your exit. Then you look for buy opportunities here, right? For a long-term buy based on higher time frame. Thank you very much, guys. We'll talk again next time.
Good day, traders. I wanted to do an analysis on the Euro USD for this week's weekly market analysis. Now, before going to the Euro USD, I wanted to do a quick breakdown on the dollar index on the daily time frame. Now, what we had previously was this supply zone, and below price, we currently have this demand zone. So what we had was price dropping away from the supply zone, and it came back few days later, came for a retest, and it dropped away. And what we are currently seeing now is a second pullback into this supply zone. So for now, we can assume the price will break this supply zone. So what we could potentially see, it is for price dropping all the way to this demand zone at 96, where we could now see some potential reversals. This is going to correlate with the Euro USD. Now, similar structure in the opposite direction on the Euro USD. This is this demand zone, of which on the dollar index we are reacting to a supply zone. This is more clearer on H4. H4 is going to be our entry time frame. So this is our supply zone, our demand zone, sorry, supply zone. It is currently above. So what we could expect, it is for price to rally all the way to this supply zone, and I am looking for this to be removed, considering that on the daily there is enough cap for price to rally a bit higher. So if I switch to the daily time frame, we have the supply zone above, which is similar to the demand zone on the dollar index. So we could see price rallying all the way to that supply zone before continuing to the downside. So this is the scenario I'm looking at on the dollar, on the Euro USD. I hope that you find this video useful in your analysis, and good luck for the week. Cheers.